Update coming out inside of Clash Royale. Now today they announced 3 new legendary cards we're going to be seeing inside of the game for a total of 5, already having the Princess and the Ice Wizard. Let's go ahead and go through each one by one and then hop into a pair of friendly battles to check them out in action. Now first of all we have the Miner. Now the Miner's unlocked at Arena 6, and what's really cool about the Miner is that you can place him anywhere you want on the map. He only costs 3 elixir, you can use him to take out some spawners from the back, you can use him to attack crown towers, although he does do a reduced amount of damage to towers, but he's a pretty cool card. You can use him to do a lot of different tactics, and I'm going to show you guys more about him in just a moment. Now second up is the Lava Hound. Now the Lava Hound's unlocked at Arena 4, and you guys probably know the Lava Hound from Clash of Clans, has a ton of health. You can pretty much think of it as a golem for the air, and of course when it explodes, it blows up into a bunch of different lava pups, and they do a pretty decent amount of damage against the tower. So you're going to use the Lava Hound as a tank obviously, and the Lava Hound again is unlocked at Arena 4 and costs 7 elixir. Now finally, this card is absolutely insane. It is unlocked at Arena 6 and it is called Sparky. Sparky costs 6 elixir, and I don't even know how to describe this card. I think it has a great thing in the description. It says obliterate everything in sight. Pretty much it charges up its laser. It looks like a hidden Tesla at the very end of it. And when it's done charging, it shoots an AoE bolt, and by AoE I mean it affects multiple, it does splash damage, and it just destroys everything in its path. It is so ridiculously strong. I've been trying to find some weaknesses in it, but this card is absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to be a really tough one to counter. You have to play cards around it like the Skeleton Warriors, Goblins, something like that, and to pray you can take it out, but the Sparky is crazy. Let's go ahead and hop into a couple of battles. So pairing up against the Game Hunter, I'm going to be playing with all 6 new cards that are coming out in this update. Not only do we have the 3 new cards that I talked about earlier in this video, but also they did announce that we're going to be getting the Guards, the Furnace, as well as the Fire Spirits, which I'm going to be playing right now. Check out this usage of the Miner though. This is what you're going to be able to do to take out some spawner decks. You can drop the Miner to take it out from a distance, and as you can see, this Furnace is going to go down fairly quickly, and we ended up getting a pretty decent amount of value out of that 3 elixir Miner. Alright, let's go ahead and use our Lava Hound. We're going to go ahead and try to tank up some of this damage. He's going to play his Sparky though, and the Sparky is absolutely ridiculous. It's going to start charging up to do a crazy amount of damage, and even though my skeletons are actually pretty decent at taking them on, because the guards do have that shield, it's still going to be pretty rough, and as that Sparky runs down the lane, we're going to go ahead and get ready as it charges up and takes a shot off against our tower. Now, one hit did half of our tower's health. Safe to say that's a pretty balanced to deal with. Anyways, let's go ahead and get ready for our own Sparky and try to drop that in the very back. Now he's going to play his Miner to attack our Furnace right here. Should be able to use our Valkyrie to take him out. And now that we have a Valkyrie running in the lane, we still have a couple of those Fire Spirits running out of the Furnace. Let's play our own Sparky and get ready to try to dominate the left-hand side of the map. So the Valkyrie up front will be able to clear up the small units. We got the Sparky from behind doing massive damage. Of course, the Sparky cannot target air. It only targets ground units, so keep that in mind. It's going to take out the Fire Spirits as soon as he drops those. And if you guys notice the ring around the front of the Sparky, that's how you can tell when it's charging up. It has 3 rings, and as they turn white and he starts, getting that laser, he'll start doing damage. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get too much damage against the tower. We did bring it down to 1300 HP, but still, let's get ready for another push and to try to protect that Sparky as best as possible. So Valkyrie to stop that Ice Wizard should be pretty effective right there. Let's play our Furnace in the very back and just set up for later as our Valkyrie tries to chip away at that Furnace right there. Okay, so Miner's gonna go down, and as you can see, it takes a long time to deploy the Miner. The Miner has to sort of walk around, and the Miner does do reduced damage against the towers, because if it didn't do reduced damage, then people would just use the Miner non-stop against one another. And as we drop our own Sparky in the very back, he's going to play his Miner, and watch what happens. It instantly gets popped by our Sparky, and then now he has his own Sparky, but luckily our Skeleton Warriors were there to tank a bit of damage. Now here comes our Sparky. It's going to take out both of his at once. We even played our Miner to give us a little bit more tankiness in the front, and we're just going to keep running down the left-hand lane. We've got the Lava Hound, we got the Sparky going crazy. 10 seconds left on the clock as the arrows get thrown down. This one is over, and it just showcases how strong these new legendary cards are inside of the game. So nuts stuff. You guys are definitely going to be wanting to use some of these new cards. I imagine the amount of rage people are going to have when they lose against Sparky, just like the Princess right now. I know so many people are